Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our general meeting of April 26, 2026. I'm going to ask everybody to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for a moment of silence for our departed members and our brave men and women of the armed services who sacrifice to protect our freedoms. And also let us remember, as we should every April, the loss of Tommy Hogan, our former recording secretary, who passed away from on April 3rd, 2020. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll do a roll call of officers, and I think we've got a full team here today. All right, yeah. If anyone's counting, yep. All right, President Kevin McCaffrey is here, Secretary Treasurer Chuck White.
Present.
Vice President John Zapoli.
Present.
Recording Secretary Laura Campione.
Present.
Trustee Charlton Paul.
Present.
Trustee Anthony Braunstein.
Present.
And Trustee Jose Marino.
Present.
All right. Okay. We're going to, at this point, call on Recording Secretary Laura Campione to read the minutes of the meeting of February 8th, 2026.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I wore my heels so you can see me over this thing. Okay. President McCaffrey called the meeting to order at 9:10 a.m. There was a pledge of allegiance followed by a moment of silence for all our brave men and women of the armed forces who sacrificed to protect our freedom. There was a roll call of officers. All were present. Excused was Recording Secretary Laura Campione. President McCaffrey called on Secretary Treasurer White to read the minutes of the October 26, 2025 general membership meeting. President McCaffrey asked for a motion to accept the minutes as read. A motion was made by Brother James Ryan and seconded by Brother Chris Pizzuto. Motion passed unanimously. Financial report. President McCaffrey called on Secretary Treasurer White to read the financial report. President McCaffrey asked for a motion to read the financial reports for the months of October, November, and December 2025. A motion was made by Brother Ryan and seconded by Brother Pizzuto. Motion was approved. Secretary Treasurer read the financial reports for the months of October, November, and December 2025. President McCaffrey asked for a motion to accept the financial reports as read. A motion was made by Brother Pizzuto and seconded by Brother Ryan. Motion passed unanimously. Trustees' declaration. President McCaffrey called on Trustee Paul to give the trustees' declaration. Trustee Paul reported that the trustees of the local 707 Executive Board have examined the books and records for the local union for the months of October, November, December 2025 and found the books to be recorded correctly and the bank balance is verified. Unfinished business, new member orientation. New member orientation at the end of the meeting. Please see Vice President Zapoli after the meeting. Organizing. The Freight Division has begun active organizing at Central Transport beginning in the Northeast. Locals in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New England have been meeting to coordinate organizing at Central Transport. Within Local 707's jurisdiction, there are two terminals, Brooklyn and Old Bethpage. The IBT Organizing Department recently set up a website with a QR code link into a video. We also have new flyers with a QR code link to the website and a way for workers to contact the union. We also sent signs to be placed outside of Central Transport facilities with a QR code link. YRC bankruptcy. In November, the bankruptcy judge made rulings which significantly reduced the amount to pension funds for withdrawal liability. Additionally, the union is still in settlement discussions with MSN, the majority stockholder in YRC, to reach an agreement on back pay claims. The pension and welfare funds reached a settlement with the company to reduce our claims by 25%, which is around $25,652,000, and avoid litigation. The settlement was presented to the court for approval. The PBCG already approved it and is required for any fund that receives over $50 million in SFA. Assuming the court approves the settlement, the pension fund has a withdrawal liability claim for $25.6 million and the contribution claim for about $127,000. The welfare fund has claims for unpaid contributions of about $880,000. the court has not formally accepted the plan. Under new business, contracts recently ratified, non-contracts being negotiated, Teachers College, which is security/facilities, delegate election. At the January 6, 2026 delegate nomination meeting, President McCaffrey was elected as the delegate to the IBT convention by acclamation. Secretary Treasurer Chuck White and Vice President John Zapoli were elected as alternate delegates to the IBT convention by acclamation. T-Force Freight, several local 707 grievances were heard at the T-Force national hearings. The biggest had national implications for protecting geographical descriptions in the bid process. Local 707 and Local 150 in Sacramento, California presented very similar grievances. Both Local 150 and 707 agreed to put both cases on mutual postponement after cases were heard to try to resolve the issues. Hudson News shut down. Hudson News, formerly MDI, started in Hicksville, then moved to Farmingdale, then to Islip, make sure this is right, and then New Jersey, and is ceasing operations as of February 18th. As the height of magazine business, we had over 100 members at Hudson News. There are currently 7 members in New Jersey. Penske, arbitration for theft of time. Okay, request to pass a motion to condemn ICE operations in the country. Member Samuel Palmer from 4C brought up concerns about ICE operations in the country right now. Member Palmer requested Local 707 pass a resolution in opposition to ICE actions. President McCaffrey stated Local 707 has not traditionally taken a position on anything other than labor-related issues. The question was brought to the membership if Local 707 membership should pass the motion at this time. A motion was made by President McCaffrey, seconded by Trustee Paul, to not take a position on social issues at this time. Motion was approved with 2 opposing, and the balance of the membership approved in favor. Good and welfare, Miller and Caggiano. Rob Rogers of Miller and Caggiano Workers' Comp Attorney gave the update to the membership. President McCaffrey thanked Todd Miller and Greg Caggiano for providing the Local 707 with 75th anniversary t-shirts and sponsoring our July membership appreciation luncheon meeting, but more importantly for the great work they do representing our members in workers' comp claims. Scholarship opportunities. There are currently 3 scholarships available for graduating seniors as follows: Local 707 Scholarship Fund, Teamsters Scholarship Fund, and the James R. Hoffa Scholarship Fund. All materials, applications, and deadlines will be sent to the shop stewards. Also, Scholarship Formation Committee outreach will be made to members who wish to volunteer to serve on the Local 707 Scholarship Fund. The purpose is to redesign the scholarship program in terms of eligibility and grant amounts. Welfare reminders. Electronic EOB sign up is available at www.roadcarrier707.com. Go to log in, agree to terms of use, and then select view pension and put in your retirement date. That's really more for pension updates, but you can just go to work for EOBs. You can just go to www.707.com to get electronic EOBs. President McCaffrey reminded the members that only medical and hospital goes through Blue Cross Blue Shield. Medical issues for eyes, ophthalmology is and optical is Davis Vision, and dental is DDS. Members' Social Security and patient's birthday is your ID number. Notify the pension office of divorce or pending divorce. The member is responsible if a former spouse continues to use medical benefits after the divorce is final. Recognition of veterans. As always, we recognize our veterans and have pins available for them after the meeting. President McCaffrey asked for a motion to adjourn the meeting. A motion was made by Brother Ryan and seconded by Brother Landy. The meeting adjourned at 10:20 a.m. Respectfully, Laura Campione, Teamsters Local 707.
Thank you, very good. Any additions or corrections to the minutes as read? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion to approve. Chris? Second? Jimmy? Jimmy? That's gonna be our, that's gonna be a pattern here. We pick out 2 people because it's easy for the recording secretary. All right. Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Motion's passed. Next, I'm going to call on Secretary Treasurer Chuck White to read the financial report for the months of January, February, and March of 2026. Is a motion to hear the consolidated report. Motion by Chris, second by Jimmy. All in favor? Opposed? Okay. Can you give us the 3-month summary? Chuck, we appreciate it.
Good morning, everybody. All right, membership dues, $192,634.54. And reinitiation, $22,603.24. Withdrawals and transfers, $64. Assessments and fines, $6,174.01. Other income, $20,601.64, bringing us to a total income of $242,077.43. Expenses, salaries, $64,209.04. Expense allowance, $6,690. Per capita tax, $78,595.08. I'll address that at the end. Contributions, $500. Benefits paid, $38,563.20. Transmittal expenses, $63. Refunds, initiation and reinitiation, $387. Office administration, $29,675.85. Legal fees, $7,556.70. Arbitration fees, $475. Other professional fees, $23,901.75. Taxes, $7,964.14. Meeting committee expenses, $460.33. Auto expenses, $2,018.73. Out-of-town travel, $5,419.55. Other expenses, $4,284.42. Total expense, $270,763.79, giving us a net of $28,686.36 in arrears. We overpaid. We didn't actually overpay. We paid April's per capita tax in March. That's why it sounds what it is. We have a total of assets as of 3/31/26 of $134,230.37. So, which means April is going to be a lot lighter because the per capita tax has already been paid. Any questions? Thank you.
Hearing none, motion to accept the financial report is read. Chris, Jimmy, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, it is moved. Next, I'm going to call on Trustee Charlton Paul, who's going to read the trustee declaration for the months of January, February, and March 2026.
Good morning, everybody. The trustees of Local 707 Executive Board have examined the books and records for the months of January, February, and March and found them to be recorded correctly and the bank balance is verified.
But he hasn't even needed, he doesn't. He's good, yeah. Okay. All right, next for your new members, are there any new members here for the orientation? No? Just so everybody knows, so what we do, we have somebody? Okay. So what we've done, we passed this in the bylaws many years ago, and I think it's a good idea, is that on top of your initiation fee, you pay an additional $100. And once you, as a new member, once you attend that new member orientation, you get that $100 back. So it gets people at least come to at least one union meeting and get their $100 back, learn a little bit about what we do here. So I think it's a good idea, it seems to be working. So just make sure you see John Zapoli after the meeting to do that. Okay, next, old business, Central Freight Organizing, after intensive efforts in the Northeast to organize Central Transport. I know we've spoken to everybody here, we've done a lot of things. I personally stopped and followed trucks and met people at stops and spoke with them. Never got a good warm and fuzzy feeling. And so we were doing that in the whole Northeast, and we would meet occasionally and report back. And there generally wasn't a sense that it was clicking. You know, people were interested, and we didn't get any phone calls back, but they said, yeah. And what ended up happening was the company caught on to this, and they ended up giving the workers a $6 an hour pay increase. Yeah. So after that, nobody wouldn't even stop anymore to see it. So the IBT has decided to put that on hold, that organizing drive, and to focus right now while they try and find another target on a bigger scale, continue to work on smaller ones. We'd originally started talking about Moe's Trucking and a couple of other places that we may be interested in. Some of these cottage agents or somebody, they want to focus on 100 or less. That seems to be the target they want. They seem to have more success when they organize that number of members. So we're going to go back to that. So we're going to be, once again, we're going to be working on, let's try and focus on some of those cottage agents. And I know I'm going to have Chuck come up here and John talk about some of the things they're working outside of the freight industry. So we're kind of, so stepping back from Central, and we're moving forward on some other targets. We need to continue to organize, we said, Hudson News is we lost 7 people, but it's 7 here, it's 7 there, you know, and it's, all that stuff starts to add up. Going back to down memory lane with the MDI at the time, before it was Hudson News, and it was 1995 when I became an officer, and I was the business agent there. And as Laura said, we had over 100 people at that facility, probably 120 people. And that's when people read magazines, and before you look at everything on the phone. And the #1 magazine, this is how long ago was it, by far the best-selling magazine, no one would guess this, so I'm not gonna put a test out there, was TV Guide. So you see how things have changed, you know. So if you didn't have TV Guide, you were in the business. And then the big flurry after Diana got killed, that was great for business, not so good for her. And after that, business went right downhill. It never recovered, and now they're out of the magazine business completely, and that's why everyone gets everything online. So, you know.
It's so sad. Like sad.
About
The
Diana.
magazines.
Oh.
Oh, like Diana.
Yeah, it is. But the world changed, and we see that in OTV, right? Remember, anyone's been around OTV for a long time. Horse racing was king. We had, what was the height of the branches we had, Laura?
24?
We had 24 branches. We're down to 4 now. Yeah. So I mean, the world's changing. You know, online gambling. Everyone's on their phones, and they can do all that stuff there. So, and then poly market and all those things. So. So with that, I'm going to call on Secretary Treasurer White. I know he's working on continuing to work on a target we feel we have some good interest in and a little bit of setback, but I'm going to bring up Chuck to talk about what he's doing on that end, and I'm going to rekindle interest in that.
Okay, so last meeting I explained we had a setback with one of the members got fired for something he did. It wasn't anything to do with our organizing. So he was fired for refusing to go to work. Since then, everybody kind of stepped back a little bit. I reached out to the next man who's been pretty vocal with me, and because he was due for a raise, and the company looked him in the face and told him, if it's less than 3%, we're not gonna bother giving it to you. So he freaked out. I explained to him, he wants to go to labor board. I said, the only people who are gonna help you with that is us. And I said, you know, what's the chances of us getting back up there and start talking to you guys again? He goes, to be honest with you, he goes, everybody here is leaving. I'm like, it's a good job if we can organize it. It's not a good job if it's not. Penske is really tough. The company, Cardinal Health in Montgomery, we represent them, and it's constant work. It's constant work. It's almost as bad as T-Force in Montgomery. They're constantly on the phone. God, they're very anti-union. So the problem with Penske and Fishkill is everybody starts at a different time. You can't get everybody together. I've gone up there and sat for 6 hours and had one guy, because it's just very hard. And I'm sure they strategically did that to keep this from happening. So anyhow, I keep reaching out to them. We're trying to get back up there. Kevin had a good suggestion to go back up there and do an overnight. That's where I got a lot of feedback. But that's probably what's gonna happen. I'll have to go up there and overnight and start talking to these guys again, maybe rekindle an interest. But in between then, we've had a couple possibles. Bob King gave me a good tip on a performance food group. Unfortunately, they were already organized. It was too good to be true. They were making good money and had good benefits. We went to Penske in Bethpage. I went down there, checked it out. Bob went down there, checked it out, and I had one of my Penske guys actually go there and they said, we don't want nothing to do with it. The rumor travels fast, let me tell you, about this guy getting fired. I don't know how they found out about it, but they heard about it, so they don't want anything to do with it. So in the meantime, I've been checking out this Crescent Packaging. I didn't have much luck with them. Yeah, they're in very early. I gotta get over there a little earlier. They're back by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so. I haven't had much luck. If you guys know of anything out there, please reach out and let me know. We're looking for a good solid hook. I don't have a good solid hook right now. I'm fishing in the water. Thank you.
And you know, this is, and I think we need to focus on these logistic companies, you know. Chuck's a Debbie Downer, you know, on this stuff. You gotta keep going. You know, we went in there and these people actually do the delivery work for Stellantis, which is Chrysler Auto Parts. They consolidated all of their parts distribution in East Fishkill. They shut down Massachusetts, they shut down Connecticut, they also shut down
Japan, New York.
Japan, New York, where we actually used to represent the workers under a different contractor. And the good thing is the UAW represents the workers on the inside, the United Auto Workers. So if push came to shove, you know, if it came down to like a strike line or something like that, we'd be in a very, very good position. And we relied on a small group of people. We've got some other things we do. Someone gave us all the emails, everybody. We're gonna start shooting them emails and stuff, send them little messages. And I think the best results we got was when Chuck was up there in the middle of the night, standing at the stop sign with a reflective vest on, and they would stop, you know? And I think
It was very, very positive when I was up there, and then when you're not there with them, it turns the other way.
yeah, so we need to do it. So, and what happened is our lead guy ended up, without any consultation with us, decided not to come to work until he got paid for something he thought they owed him.
Vacation.
His vacation, and he goes, I'm not working until I get paid. We can't even do that in this business, right, with the union. So it was ill advised, and it kind of set us back. We're gonna move forward on, it's a big group, it's over 60 people, right? 50 to 60 people?
It's just about 57.
57 people, so that would be a good hit for us. That's what we need to do to continue moving forward and reduce the outflows. Some of the other things we talked about, if the OTB could change. If they end up getting a VLT, and they have to house their own VLTs, the video lottery terminals. You know, in Suffolk, it's Jake's 58. Right now, the terminals that Nassau has, they lease them to in an arrangement with Resort Worlds, where that's just a straight VLT facility now, and they get quite a bit of money, and probably about $25 million a year. That's the only reason we're still in business here, really. It's not horse racing. And but if they've got a full casino license, if that goes forward,
It's opening this week.
yeah, but there's a question about whether or not they're going to be able to continue to use our VLT. So if not, I think OTB is prepared to move forward with their own facility. That would help us in membership. But we got to keep going. You're going to hear us with that theme all the time. It stinks going out there, you know, organizing. It's a pain in the neck. Everyone, all of our members that are in the trenches, especially the drivers who get to meet these other guys, speak to them, ask them that they want to meet, you know, and do whatever, just have a cup of coffee and see what's going on. We provide good health care, retirement benefits.
I talked to one of the guys already, they all threatened to get fired.
Yeah,
That's the first thing they say. I gave them the pamphlet and everything, and they say, I said, this is a much better, I said, you're a young guy, leave your job, jump over to ABF, at least you're gonna have retirement benefits and all this. They're all threatening that they're gonna be fired.
Yeah, so
That's
we need an
what they're
opportunity
scared
to speak with them, allay those fears, you know, let them know that we have other opportunities for them in the event that, you know, that word come to that besides just the legal ramifications that are involved when you get fired because you do have protections under the law. But in the meantime, we can find you work, always looking for drivers. And, but the opportunity is just give us an opportunity to get, you know, face to face with these people, we'll be able to speak with them. And that's what we need to continue to do. John, why don't you come up and let us know what you're working on?
Good morning. So I started out with the Food Authority, which is a similar type of place like the Crescent Packing and the Carla Foods, who's in our union now. And more than, it was like most of the people that I seen at Food Authority were not interested, because it seems like it's a family-owned company and they are being treated pretty good over there. So there was very few that were even interested, so kind of like, you know, left them alone a little bit, just concentrating more on Crescent Packaging. And most of those guys that I spoke to, interested, but, you know, like always, you know, they tell you yes to your face and then you don't hear from them. So all I got now on that is if anybody sees like Crescent Packaging out there, let me, you know, if you guys do run into them, I'll give you flyers to hand to them and talk to them, because probably get better results from driver to driver than me walking up and saying, hey, you know. So, you know, definitely we definitely need everybody's help on that, because Crescent Packaging, like DeCarlo, have crazy hours that they go out and come back, and it's hard to catch them. So, so like I said, yeah, definitely can use your help. If anybody sees them or, you know, anything, let me know.
What color's their trucks or whatever?
No,
Where are they at, this Crescent?
they're in Farmingdale.
They're in
New
Farmingdale,
Highway and Central Avenue.
Central Avenue?
Yeah, they got some white trucks, something, and the old ones are white trucks, and they got some blue ones. But it said, you know, big Crescent with a red emblem on it,
I
and
don't
packing.
remember seeing any of them.
Yeah, they're very, it's hard to find those guys. Very hard once they leave the yard. Yeah, so if anybody sees them, you know, I'll gladly give you some flyers. It's whatever help we can get will work.
Same
You know.
colors.
And that's it. Thank you.
And well, then we're gonna make sure, like, with the freight guys, we made sure that they had they had the flyers. We're gonna make sure all the stewards have flyers, so they give to all the drivers, because that's really, we're gonna make those contact, have them in the truck. This way you can give them right to the guy. You see a guy from any kind of trucking company, give it to him, you know? When, with DeCarlo, John, Chuck, we're gonna get flyers to DeCarlo. Anyone in the food service that we see, Jimmy will, you know, we'll make sure these guys have them, so if they see somebody, and like I said, Food Authority is out there. They are a big company, and that they started as a family owned, but they started in Massachusetts and all over. I don't think anybody's met the owners there, so you know, I truly believe people not concerned about the family, they're more concerned about what they get paid, what their benefits are, what they're paying for those benefits. So we got to keep plugging away at those things. So like I said, our niche is food service, delivery, and also on the freight side, and any one of the other companies that come across. One other thing we have under the old business, I forgot to put it on here, is the Arthur Schumann Cheese. We represented well over 120 people there. No, I'm sorry, it's 80-something people, 80-something people there. And they make, if you go to Costco and get cheese that's already been processed, like in the containers and stuff, those are local 707 members out of Fairfield, New Jersey, do that work. They take the cheese, the imported cheese off of the boats in New Jersey. They bring it right to their facility. They cut it up. They also have another facility in Elgin, Illinois, and in Wisconsin. They bought some cheese producers there. But due to the tariffs and some other things, they've decided to scale back their operation and significantly reduce their workforce there. We were in consultation with them. We brought some things to their attention that they were not aware of, and so they're rethinking their plan. It looks like they're gonna reduce it by at least 5 people, but hopefully they're gonna look at a way to be able to continue a significant operation there in Fairfield. So, like I said, these are things that keep happening, that you take one step forward, 2 back, and vice versa. So you got to keep plugging away, filling those holes in there. So, that's still a very fluid situation. What's going to happen in Arthur Schumann? Next on the old business is YRC bankruptcy. Anyone familiar with it? A company called MFN as a private equity firm. As Yellow YRC was going out, they were buying up all their stock. Plus they owned quite a bit of a equity stake in the company itself. And so they ended up being in the bankruptcy proceeding the largest stakeholder or shareholder, and so they controlled a lot of these bankruptcy settlement talks. And we have outstanding claims to members for vacation, personal, sick time that was not paid out, and all the back wages were paid, but those claims are still sitting out there. waiting on a resolution to the issue of withdrawal liability to the pension funds, which is significant. The judge has made a series of decisions that have, the bankruptcy judge has made decisions that have not been favorable to the pension funds. We're on the hook for, in our case, $56 million what they owed us in pension fund. And, but that's gonna be significantly reduced, as it had been in all the other CFs. You know, you're looking, pennies on the dollars, what you're gonna be getting, when the smoke clears. We thought we were close to a settlement on that stuff, including almost $1 million to the welfare fund, but that's gonna be significantly reduced. And, they've gone one last appeal beyond the bankruptcy judge's decision to the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court decides to take their case, which I doubt they will, then we will be very close to a settlement, and then the distribution of vacation, sick, and personal time will be given to the members, and that is being handled by the IBT. So that's still fluid, but we expect to be able to have some sort of resolution to that in the near future. So, anything else on the old business? Yes.
How many union members are there at OTD?
Full and part-time?
Total number of members?
I don't know, Laura, how much?
I haven't counted.
I haven't counted.
I just haven't.
I'd say it's probably 50, right? When you add them both together?
Probably.
Yeah, about 50, I would say. Yes,
Yeah, on the bankruptcy, there's also the Warren Act.
there's a Warren Act claim, yes.
And plus the lawsuit that YRC has against the IBT. Right now, they're claiming over $1 billion. What is the status of the Warren Act? Do you know anything on that?
It's still in that same, the judge had made an initial determination that the Warren Act claim was not valid, in that the company, in its actions when he shut down the company, was acting in the capacity as a, I forget the legal term, just disposing of the assets. So they were not subject to the Warren Act claims. And
I know
so,
the IBT.
yeah, and the IBT has appealed that. So that's still in court.
Pending.
Yeah, still, and as the other claims are.
And also the appeal from YRC against the IBT, that was overturned. I know that's supposed to be heard separately as in
Yeah.
Kansas, but do you know what the status?
I do
of
not.
that-
All this stuff is fluid. I think what's driving this is whether or not they get their appeal to the Supreme Court, if they hear the case, and if so, what the adjudication of that case would be. So I don't expect that to happen. They take very few cases. This doesn't seem like one that would be in their wheelhouse. So, but until that is determined that they would or would not take that case, I don't expect any real movement in this until that happens. But that should be happening by the summertime. They'll make those decisions.
One other question, opinion. If YRC wins their appeal against IBT, I know it'll be devastating to the IBT, but there is no YRC. Will that money go back to the Teamsters who, because there's not gonna be much money left for the Warren Act, and so what happens to that money?
The claim has been brought by the majority stakeholder, MFN. So they would be the ones that said that they were claiming, because they were the majority stakeholder, and they had an equity stake in the company, and they're gonna say that they were the ones that were harmed. So it would go to
I
that.
thought it was YRC that put the claim in against,
MFN is now YRC.
What?
MFN is the largest shareholder and they have the controlling interest in that. So they're one and the same.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anything else? Okay. We'll move on to new business. We haven't had any contracts that were recently ratified, but being negotiated with Colonial Hardware, that's Chuck, Westside Tennis, Grimes Hills, and RS Integrated, which were all John's. So,
Teachers College just ratified.
we reported that at the last meeting. Next, we have T-Force Freight. We've had several grievances. We reported on them before, or heard at T-Force National Hearings. They said the biggest had the implications of and I know this is in ABF and other trucking companies, they don't have this, but at T-Force and when it was UPS Freight, you would bid on, and Chris knows that because he went from one to the other, where you would bid on a specific geographical jurisdiction, and you could bid on your run, and start times and destination. And in ABF and the other master freight companies, it was solely based on start times. So people have gotten used to that, and they've come up with a new system for loading the trucks using AI. Everybody's using AI. We should start thinking about that. Anyway, they want to use AI for routing the trucks. The problem is they're looking at the freights coming in. They know what pickups are going to be. Generally, the pickups they know the day before. They're going to route this truck, put it all together, and they said we're ready. Somebody ready to go at 7 o'clock. That's great, but that may not be the bid start with the geographical description of where the truck's going. So they're fighting this on us all over the country, and as was reported before, ourselves and another local had brought forward that case, and we're waiting on some sort of settlement on that. But we think we have a pretty good case, and if not, we'll be back to be heard. And then
When they figure out how AI is gonna deliver the freight, that means we're done,
That's-
right?
listen,
Let them
Well,
figure
they
that
did
one
figure
out.
that out.
you know, they
Put it in
are.
my garage,
They-
okay.
They can assist. I don't see in all lifetimes, I don't see autonomous vehicles making city deliveries, you know?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's,
Take
it's just,
everything over.
it's just, but they are gonna use it to routing, et cetera. Find out how many times you know,
Stop for.
stop or
coffee break.
off, they already do
They're
that.
good
for
at
them.
that.
But that's why you have us. And then we also have pending grievances in Bay Shore on subcontracting and issues with the conditions of the yard there. And then Chuck has outstanding grievances on forced overtime and daily guarantees for extra workday. Marvin is here, he's the dock steward up there in T-Force. Been a tough year up there in terms of the amount of freight that's come through. They've got a significant amount in the increase of their business. We all think that they lowered their rates, and it really, we can't hire enough people quick enough, and it's really put a strain on the dock workers up there who are forced to work 6 and 7 day overtime. You know, so it's been, and everyone knows this past winter, there's no heat on those docks. It was cold, and guys are being forced 6 and 7 days. It really takes a toll on you, so we continue to work on that. We believe that there may be some sort, they are hiring, that's the biggest thing. They need to hire people, regardless of forcing, and that's the real remedy. We're working with the company to make sure that they do that, and we're actually looking at probably 20 new members there if they hire everybody that they need.
Yeah.
So that's
Dalton's been in the yard there 2 weeks now with
orientation.
classes, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's that organic organizing, so we're gonna continue to follow through on that. We talked about the Hudson News shutdown. They are also gonna go into bankruptcy proceedings. They owe us, they're participants in our pension fund, so they're gonna continue to be, try and get out of paying withdrawal liability as well as severance pay that they have in their contract. We also had a success at Penske. Chuck talked about in Cardinal Health. We had an arbitration. Someone was discharged for theft of time, and with Chuck's help and our lawyers at Carrie Kane, Chris Paluzzi, we got a full back pay reinstatement for that member. So a significant amount of money the company had to pay, and a slap on the hand for not being good employers. So not quite an apology, but the arbitrator had their way with them. That's all I have on the new business. Anybody else have anything on new business? What's that? No. We had an arbitration?
We're here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the one we got somebody back for, yes. That was a while ago, wasn't it? I didn't mention, okay, we were successful in getting somebody back at ABF for accidents. Right, that was an accident case, right? Okay.
Stand up, Alex.
There's Alex, okay. Oh, I remember Alex, there he is. That's right. I did a good job, didn't I? I did, thank you, yeah. That's what I do. Now, my specialty, and John helped out there too, and my specialty is I pull people from the ashes, you know, and at T-Force, I've done it quite a few times, as I got a long list of people, so, you know, those are kind of things you're talking to people about. I said, I don't care how good your job is, unless you have a union in that's gonna fight for you to protect you. You could have a personality dispute with the supervisor, or you could just have a bad day. And, you know, we try and make the argument that, this member is not a screw up, they just screwed up, and there's a difference. You know, and we make those differences made. Jackson?
What are you doing to see that employees at OTB with the same title are paid the same, that everybody with the same title outside the Race Palace is paid the same amount as the people at the Race Palace?
You mean because there's a differential for the Race Palace?
That is correct.
Is that in the collective bargaining agreement?
It's somewhere, it's on the pay stub, code 17.
Yeah, it's in.
The branch manager should be, in Franklin Square, should be paid the same thing as the branch manager in the Palace.
I think there's always been a differential there, and until we change that in the collective bargaining agreement, which is up at the end of this year? Okay. So it's one of the things we'll entertain in terms of when we come back for contract proposals, we'll put that in there.
Good idea, I will tell them.
Okay. So, that's all I have under new business. Bob King? Good and welfare. All right, we're gonna go into good and welfare, now we're gonna talk about the scholarship? No, I'm only kidding.
New York City's got a 32-hour, what was it, Anthony?
Approved unpaid sick time.
Additional from New York City.
Only
You send me that, I'll have to look into that, I'm not sure.
ABF posted it, and guys been using it, guys already used up their 32 hours.
We have yeah, I'm sure.
Before you lose it.
Well, didn't lose it. So we have a joint council meeting coming up in a couple weeks. We'll, I'll ask them about that. We have a lobbyist there. I'll actually ask them to speak about that, so we can better about it. With that, I want to bring up Rob Rogers, the Honorable Rob Rogers. He works for Miller and Caggiano, and in his spare time, he's do the new village justice in the village of Island Park. And so, if you get into trouble in Island Park, you have a friend of Rob Rogers. No, you don't kill anybody. That's all. Oh yeah. If you want to get married again and again, yeah.
Thank you, Kevin. Good morning, everybody. As stated, my name is Rob Rogers. I'm with Miller Caggiano. We handle workers' compensation claims, but that's not all we do. We also do Social Security disability, personal injury, VA claims if you're a veteran, and you've already gotten your rating. You can go back and if you haven't reached the 100% rating, you can try to increase the rating as well. There hasn't been much changes in workers' compensation. There will be some change. They always do a yearly increase in the average weekly wage of what workers' comp can have as the maximum payout per week or on a settlement. That will be updated on July 1st. So when I guess you have a meeting in July, right?
Yes.
So
Yes, in fact, you sponsored a luncheon for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll update the rate change at the next meeting once that takes place. But with your workers' comp claim, as always, if you get hurt, you have a question, contact the union. You can always reach, they can put you in touch with us as well as far as, making sure that what you injured is put on and how you got hurt is accurate. So there's less questionability and less confusion from your employer when they're looking at a statement or an accident report, as well as if you're out of work. Some of the jobs do offer modified positions. You can discuss with us, you can discuss with your doctor to see if you're able to do that modified position. I understand what they may put on paper as a modified, may not always be what you're actually doing when you're in there. But the number one thing is to maintain good relationships, make sure you're getting paid, and have a job when you are healthy enough to go back. So it's good to foster a healthy relationship with your employer when you're unfortunately, or if you're ever unfortunately out on workers' compensation. If it's a long-term disability, that's where we have a discussion with Social Security disability with our clients. Unfortunately, not everybody thinks it's their, going to be their time. You get hurt, and that's an unforeseen thing. That's why Social Security disability is there to protect you as well, should you not be able to get back to the workforce. The other thing that not a lot of people understand is Social Security disability doesn't also have to be a permanent condition. You can have a limited time frame of being on Social Security disability, and you recover after surgery and healing, and you can then go back to work and get off Social Security disability. So a lot of times, I've seen a lot of, not just here or anywhere, any of our clients, some people don't want the stigma of being, hey, I'm disabled, I feel like I can work. You can get back to work. Don't let it limit you. The other good thing, if you're in that scenario where you're on Social Security disability, but you're feeling better and you have some type of work you think you can do, Social Security disability allows you to have a trial work period. So they don't immediately take you off Social Security disability. They allow you up to 6 months of work while you're still getting Social Security disability but getting paid. But once you have 6 months, you do have to let them know. Because if you're collecting Social Security disability and work, then they get mad, and then you gotta owe the money back. But at least you can get the experience to say, hey, can I do this? How much pain am I in? And does it give me a sense of fulfillment? Does it make more money? So there's other options, and that's where we are there to help you out and guide you through the way. Does anyone else have any questions? No. All right, seeing no questions?
Good.
No
Thank
problem. Then back to
Thank
Kevin.
you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Rob. So beyond sponsoring our luncheon and these goodies and our 75th anniversary shirts, Miller Caggiano does a great job for us. There was a gap there. When you get assigned a lawyer, you get Rob's cell phone number. You got Greg Caggiano, who's one of the partners. You get him, or whoever it is you're going to get their cell phone number, and that's how you call a number between 9 to 5 and press 1 for the. They answer, they're responsive, they take care of things. That's why we're great partners with them, because they take care of our members. And I don't think we've ever got any complaints about the handling of a workers' comp case, or definitely not the service that you get from them. So we appreciate that partnership, Rob, and we look forward to hopefully nobody getting hurt needing their services. But when you do, it's good to know we have somebody watching out for your back. With that, on to the scholarship. There are currently 3 scholarships for graduating seniors, one for the retiree of a grandchild, and we had last year we had a great-grandchild, right? We made an exception. We said, okay, we have to allow that. And then the highest SAT scores for a girl, one for a boy. And as I said, we're looking to expand that. The scholarship, due to our fundraising efforts, has done very well, and we're looking to expand those scholarship opportunities. Our deadline is May 1st. We're going to send that out one more time. Make sure anybody to all the jobs. John, can you remember to do that? We'll send out one last notice to remind everybody if any graduating seniors this year, we can get you that. We can get you that application. I know the one for the James O. Hoffa Scholarship this year is already passed, and there's also a Teamster Scholarship Fund, and one that's been around for a few years. Also, I'm not sure the deadline for that. We'll check that and get that notification out to all the job sites. Then we have our golf outing, which is the main fundraiser for this. It's scheduled for June 8th at Hempstead Country Club. All the jobs should have 50/50 raffle tickets distributed to the job sites. That really is a big driver. Help us be able to pay for those scholarships, a way for people that want to participate, help out. They can do that with 50/50 raffle tickets, and so please take advantage of that. And there should be, all the shops still should have those at that time. And if you need any, Bob's, you have some raffle tickets we need too. If anyone wants to buy them, you see Bob King or any of the retirees in the back there. Did I cover it all? Or? No, we're good. And I just want to thank the retirees for their partnership from the very first day. We did the scholarship fund. They said, how can we help? And they've been there ever since, whether it be raising money on the 50/50 raffle or on the day of the outing, being there to help do all the things that need to get done to make it a success. So thank you again, Bob, to you and all the retirees for the work that you do. And as Chuck said before, we need people on the streets for organizing. Bob helped out with one, the other. He's always, as I say, can you check this out? And they're up there every Wednesday, having bagels and coffee, and they're ready to help out. And so they're a great asset to. We're one of the most I think one of the most active retiree clubs, 282 is pretty close, right? And I think it's us and them, and that it falls off after that. But it's great to see that these our retirees still come back, help out. Many of them I worked with in the industry, so it's nice to see everybody here. So.
Just got one thing to shout out for our ABF terminal in Bay Shore for selling 88 50/50 raffle tickets for us.
Yeah, right. That must be the record. All right. What are you telling them? They can't work if they don't do it then. So.
T-Force can beat them.
Yeah, I'll say.
I'm waiting for the other ABF.
Yeah, well.
What?
I said, no, I'm sure they're going. I'm sure they're gonna make a run at it, yeah. If you don't already know, we have a new Facebook page, Teamsters Local 707. Like it, follow it, whatever you're supposed to do with that.
Can we post on it?
Yeah, you can.
Really?
You can.
Just open up a can of worms.
I think you can. Just find out. Find out. So you talk about how good the meeting was today and everything else.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I see
what he's
it.
gonna write.
And some.
And then some. All right. So I am working on a website. I had given that duties to others, and so it didn't quite get done. So
Facebook GLA, all right,
I'm
You're
gonna.
gonna follow us now, like Google and all that?
No, I don't go that far. I just want to be able to put stuff.
Every keystroke, they
Yeah.
know what you're doing.
No, I think now that we could put up the scholarship reminders and put somebody in there. And you know, I gotta tell you, and I'm gonna fiddle with this. Now I got a little more free time. When I'm out every night working weekends. You can actually develop an app using AI. My son-in-law, he's a probation officer in Nassau County, and he's not a real techie, but he said, I came up with this app that you can just, he goes, I asked AI to create an app so we can provide services to the probation officers. Say, if you have someone that needs this kind of service, you can call them. Here's the number. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what happens. He's going to show me how to do it, and maybe we can do some sort of app as opposed to the one we had previously that was very difficult to work out. Very difficult. So we'll see what happens. So we're going to continue to do that, keep the members informed, keep them involved, and those type of things. So then we're still going to give it a shot for the 75th anniversary. We might be a little late, but we're going to try and do that again. It's been an uphill battle trying to find someone. We're trying to get the general president, and this year it's not going to work up until June. We have the Teamsters convention is in June, and the week of June 12th, 13th, 14th. Okay, is the team. So nothing's going to happen between now and then. Going back to the good and welfare reminders, I asked the girls in the welfare office. They came up with the new things, a couple of reminders. The fund has changed its PBM to OptumRx, and from OptumRx to MedOne effective January 1st, 2026. It's on your card, and you would have gotten a new card on there. That seems to be moving pretty smoothly. We have a new case manager, Hines and Associates. That information is also on your card. Many times your doctor will continue to call the previous case manager, and they cause a delay for you, whether it be to get a pre-cert for an MRI or CAT scan or any other procedures that require pre-certification. So make sure when you go in there and you need a pre-cert for something, make sure they have the up-to-date information on Hines for pre-certification. And we really have to do a better job of getting people on electronic EOBs. Many of the other, most health funds have it. We have to get you to opt in. Right now, we have to send in, and you must get tired of it. Every time you go to the doctor, you get an EOB mailed to you, and I know nobody reads these things, right? And we have to mail them out. It's required by law unless you opt in for electronic. It's on us a little bit because the website isn't really user-friendly. It doesn't really direct you to be able to use that the right way, and we're going to continue to work on that to make it easy for you to opt in for these electronic EOBs, which will make it easy for you to review them, and also for reduce administrative costs for us and sending those out to you on a regular basis. Pension forms, signature verification forms. it's for the retirees, anyone thinking about retirement. We send out a form each year that you have to notarize, basically saying that you are who you are, that you're still alive and eligible to collect benefits. You'd be surprised when we started doing this again. We probably have 20-something people we suspended their benefit from and we haven't heard from. They come trickling in once in a while. They may be in a nursing home or whatever. Some people don't even realize it's a smaller benefit. They didn't realize it's no longer coming. So anyway, we generally send them out in the fall. This year, we're gonna send them out in the summer, and this way give people more time to be able to respond, because they get the 13th check in December. We don't want to jeopardize both of those checks, because we suspend their benefit in November if they don't do it. So we're gonna move that date up and get a response.
Still 13 checks when
Yep.
you retire?
Yeah. Yep, 13 checks, back in business.
Gotta retire.
We are back in business.
How is the fund? Are we making money on investments to pay off the liability for the year? It seems to be
Okay.
a secret. I have no idea what's
Well,
going on.
you're gonna be getting a statement. You get a statement each year from the fund, and it's a little misleading. They make us report the funding of the plan without the special financial assistance. We received about $800 million in special financial assistance. Okay, that money is, and they put strings on how you can invest it. You can only put 80%, and 80%'s got to be in fixed income. 20% can be in equities. We have 90% in fixed income, which is bonds. And the short term, they laddered. So what we did is we matched our liabilities to our assets. So we know that as our liabilities come due, meaning we know how many people are retiring, what our cash flow needs are. We generate enough just from the interest on those bonds to be able to pay benefits, okay? And I'm gonna put a cover letter on this letter, send out, because everyone comes out, what 10% funded? We're not. We are at least 130% funded, okay? The assets will continue to go up. We cannot increase benefits except on new money that's put into the fund, because they put restrictions on that for almost 15 or 20 years. But this fund is in very, very good shape. It's not gonna run out of money. It's in very safe assets. We're just clipping coupons, meaning we're taking the interest that comes off of this fixed income. We're in high quality bonds, all investment grade, A and above. And even in our equity side, which has done very well, all the diversified portfolio, and we're in very good shape with the pension fund. So.
That's exactly what I want to hear.
And you'll see it, and we're gonna put in, when it comes out, we're gonna say, this is what the government says we have to put out, because they don't allow you to use that money towards the funding of the plan, but, for withdrawal liability purposes and others. But we're gonna make it clear that this is what the real number is with the SFA funds. Why not count it? Because it's there, it's in our account, so. all right?
Jeff,
Yes,
Can you give a quick update for the 277 people?
about,
The fund, the pension.
okay, yes, thank you, John, thank you very much. So we have two pension funds, I forgot. We have the 277 pension fund, we came across in a merger. The Carlo is in there, and Four Seafoods is in there. And so they are also seeking special financial assistance from the government. And we expect very quickly, probably within the next month or so, we should be receiving that money from the government for the special financial assistance for that program, which will also put them in a good place. Myself, Chuck, and John sit on those funds as trustees, as well as the 707 funds, and we expect that to come along, and that will help with the financial viability of that pension fund going forward as well.
Was Schuman part of that?
Schumann's is still part of it, yep.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
throw that in their face?
What's that?
Did you throw that in their face?
Well, that's
Yeah,
one of the
yeah.
reasons they're rethinking, because they have withdrawal liability that was more than what they thought it would be based on the amount of people that they want to leave, so they wanted to leave there. So I think we're successful in shedding some light on that, and they've gone back and taken a look as to whether or not it makes sense for them to move their operation, so.
Is the original number still set in place, or
What's that?
was the original number still set in place, or?
Which original number for
I
that?
had heard it was somewhere around 19 that we were gonna get. Is it
Yes, yes,
Still
it's very, very close,
very close?
very close. That's about $18-19 million. It pales in comparison to the 707 fund, but we were insolvent. We had no money. We had no money, and we still have some money. And we expect.
Now I wish we merged.
So, you know, it's something I've actually thought about, but it's a heavy lift and it's tough to figure out. But
Because as a shop steward, I'm trying to sell the new guys to stay,
yeah,
and if I can throw that in their face.
yeah, it's something we can look at.
The fund itself is doing well, and maybe
Yeah.
there's room for movement in the future, come to contractors.
Yeah, it can be, and
And I, a lot of guys do ask about that.
Yep.
They always ask me, does the company have 401k? I'm like, no, we have a pension,
yeah.
But if you wanna join the company's 401k, they're gonna match like 5 cents on the dollar, I don't think you want that.
Yeah,
You know?
but yes, we is one of the things that I've thought about. We haven't really put that plan to action. We're going to get through this SFA funding, see how things look, and we'll see where it goes from there. But we have potential for that, so. Anything else on the, okay, with that, I have, also, big changes, if you do have a pension fund, you are receiving a pension from us, whether it be 277 or 707, any changes to your banking information, your address, we used to have the form right on the website. We can make it easy, people can send it in. Well, there was some fraudulent attempts, they would download the form, send it in, change the banking information. So now if you call to change your banking information or your address, you're gonna get quizzed. You're gonna ask some trick questions like, where did you work? Because we know, we have that screen in front of us, And so a couple people, got one check and we cut it off, And so we're gonna, so if you do, you're gonna have to call the fund office and be prepared to ask some questions that you should know the answer to, So and we'll go from there. That we have we have any veterans here today that have not received their veterans pins in recognition? I know I have to go to ABF and give the pin to one of your members, right? In Brooklyn.
Yes.
I will do that, okay? So with that, we're gonna have, we have one new member here, right? Come on up, we have to give you official swearing in here. You did it?
Yeah.
Oh, you did it the last meeting? Oh, okay, all right. What's that? Oh, yes, oh my goodness, how could I forget that? So I should have done this under the moment of silence yeah, I'm gonna ask for one more moment of silence. Guys, just keep it down for a minute. Moment of silence. Many of you guys may not know Vinnie Cangelosi, who's the former secretary treasurer here. He had a tough time. He lost his son, only child, in 9/11. He was a bond broker for Cantor Fitzgerald. Vinnie's a long-time 30-year member of Local 707, worked for Roadway in Brooklyn and in Jamaica. And Vinnie was just a great guy. He had retired a few years ago, and we recently lost Vinnie to cancer. He was just a really solid guy. So we just give a moment of silence for former Secretary Treasurer and my friend Vinnie Cangelosi. Thank you. All right, with that, that's right. You had a whole list, basically. So you have to do the new member seminar. You got sworn in, but you didn't do the seminar?
I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, you did everything? Okay.
I was never sworn in.
Oh, you never sworn in?
Yeah, I've been here for a while, but I was never sworn in.
Did you do the new member seminar?
No.
You didn't do the new member seminar?
No.
All right, come on, brother.
No. Get cash.
We can check to see if you took the $100 out. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna. Yeah, that's yours, so you can. So raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your names. Hereby pledge my honor to faithfully observe and laws of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters
National Brotherhood of Teamsters.
and the bylaws and laws of Local Union 707
By the laws and laws of Local 707.
to comply with all the rules and regulations
To comply comply with all the rules and regulations
for the government of the International Union
for the government of the International Union
and Local 707,
and Local 707.
to faithfully perform all duties assigned to me
Faithfully perform all duties assigned to me
to the best of my ability and skill,
to the best of my ability and skill,
and to conduct myself at all times in such a manner
to conduct myself at all times in such a manner
as to not bring reproach upon the Union,
as to not bring reproach upon the Union,
and to take an affirmative part in
to take affirmative part in
the business and activities of the Union,
the business and activities of the Union,
and accept and discharge my responsibilities
and accept and discharge my responsibilities
during any authorized strike or lockout,
during any authorized strike or lockout,
and that I will not divulge to non-members
and I will not divulge to non-members
the private business of the Union
private business of the Union
unless authorized to reveal the same.
unless authorized to reveal the same,
To never knowingly harm a fellow member,
to never knowingly harm a fellow member,
to never discriminate against a fellow worker
to never discriminate against a fellow worker
on account of race, color, religion,
on account of race, color, religion,
sex, age, physical disability, or national origin,
sex, age, physical disability, or national origin,
to refrain from any conduct
to refrain from any conduct
that would interfere with the union's performance
that would interfere with the union's performance
of its legal or contractual obligations,
of its legal or contractual obligations,
and at all times to bear
at all,
true and faithful allegiance
at all times to bear truthful and faithful allegiance
to the International Brotherhood of Teamsters
to the International Brotherhood of Teamsters
and Local 707.
and Local 707.
Congratulations.
Kevin,
Okay.
Kevin, how was that?
Yeah, you're good. All right, we have the 50-50. All right. All right, we'll have the, all right, how much is it? How much is it? $75 to the winner? 75 to the winner. All right, let's have our newest member that was sworn in today, not our newest member, but we'll have you sworn in, pick the number. Spit it out, you know what I meant.
Before he gets corrupt, shake that thing.
Because he's not really a new member, but you just,
Go winner. That with 370.
here we go, $75 to the winner. Here we go. All right. 1280492. 0492 are the last four numbers. 492. All right, Marvin. Gas money, gas and tolls are coming down to Long Island. All right. I believe if someone else had the number, they'd be telling us about it. We're good. You're in, Marvin. Thank you. All right, come down next month. All right. With that, I want to thank everybody for coming. And it was motion to adjourn. Chris, Jimmy, all in favor? So moved.